The year is 2020, where the entire population is going through a global pandemic. No one is allowed to leave their houses without meeting medical requirements, like wearing a mask and keeping a 6-foot distance away from others. Times are rough, and that means there's nothing you can do other than staying in your house doing basically nothing and being bored all the time. If that sounds good for you, you're either a homebody or you found about this cool game everyone's been playing called Genshin Impact, a Breath of the Wild clone that's free, can be played on mobile devices, and with appealing characters for everyone. How can anyone not like the formula of an amazing gaming experience? But years go by, and your comfort game feels like a chore to play. You spend hundreds, if not thousands, of hours and dollars, but the game isn't fun anymore. So now you ask yourself, if only there was a modern gacha game that is actually enjoyable and not carried by a global pandemic.
Excuse me, Sire, but my favorite content creator said that Genshin Impact is the best game in the whole wide world, and you're not allowed to play any other game because Genshin invented the concept of video.
Greetings, fellas. It is I, talking through Blondie Kiki at your delivery service. I know it's been a while since we last saw each other, and to that, I apologize. I spent too much time playing Wuthering version 2.0 with an unhealthy side amount of making rivals in the Marvel universe, hosted by the out-of-this-world, definitely not a spiritual creature who won't shut up about getting that vehicle moving again. But just because I'm a few months older doesn't mean I now have Alzheimer. Is it Alzheimer? I still remember all of your comments and suggestions from that first video, and I'm here to deliver. Guys, I return with the milk. Let's put some characters to the spotlight and discuss what makes these characters so visually likable. Oh, would you look at that? A new camera feature that allows us to embrace characters without any, interruptions. Unfortunately, I don't have some of the characters discussed in this video, so I'll be needing some outer world assistance. Yo.
Yes,
Can I play on your Woo account?
if you want to.
Okay, now we're in business, fellas. So if you've watched some of my videos regarding this topic, if you haven't, keep it that way or you'll die of cringe, you'll notice that one of the most important things a fictional character must accomplish to be likable and recognizable is to be, well, easily recognizable. But not just by their design or their impact in the story, but by also having a striking quality that people can associate and use to refer to said characters, or widely known as headcanon, but without threatening people with different opinions part. But as an example, I like to refer to Calcharo as Chinese Sephiroth, Ling Yang as Garfield's biggest op, and Chong-Li as a Ye Miko upgrade I need in my women-only life. And because this is my video by yours truly, I have bad news to share about Jinshi. In her first appearance at the beginning of the game, I did not find her to be interesting despite having traits I'm a fan of. And before I get dragon fisted by the Jinshi fandom, I now have a headcanon for Jinshi after noticing one design detail. Because of her white eyelashes, I see her as gender-bent Gojo. Not the one from Dress Up Darling, but the Fortnite character who got an anime adaptation. Back to my previous statement, this character is literally built different in the lore. She gets spawn camped as a kid, gets revived by the dragon god of her people's nation, becomes the leader of said nation, only to throw hands with the dragon in a life or death fight, Kid Icarus uprise in chapter 21 style levels of greatness in order to defy the inevitable and change the nation's deadly fate. Mind you, the fight took place inside of a dimension located on a land where the flow of time was intentionally altered, affecting everyone but the player to prevent the bad guys from coming in and doing a little bit of trolling. So-called pacifists when they gotta prove a point in less than 10 hours. But wait a minute, her design doesn't look all that tough. There's no way Jinshi's capable of doing all of that. Female characters who have the looks of nothing but peace but are capable of decimating you are a guilty pleasure that must be normalized. I must clarify, Jinshi isn't a guilty pleasure. She's just pretty. I promise I'm not a broken record, but it ain't my fault that I'm hyper fixated over white hair characters. Freaking Sekahide wannabe with the long twin tails. I find it crazy to think that Jinshi is the magistrate of Jinso with an attire like this, but if the dragon tail belt around her waist, mad sick I won't cap, wasn't convincing enough, let me direct your attention to her left hand. See that? While they look good on her, if Google is to be believed nowadays, jade in Chinese culture can represent many positive things. In Jinxi's case, wearing jade rings can symbolize protection, wisdom, and other similar things I'd go through, but I don't want to misinform nor represent. So Dragon Girl good. Overall, this character right here is what made me really appreciate the attention to detail in entertainment media. Gotta hand it over to Kuro Games. They know how to design characters, sometimes a bit too well. Alright, who allowed the nun to leave the chapel? Usually when I write these types of videos, I go through a mental list of several things to make sure it's discussed to a degree. For Shorekeeper, I can't get myself to go through her lore. My post-traumatic Hoyo storytelling disorder doesn't allow me to process it. All I can see is someone whose purpose in life is to be Grover's #1 glazer. Not hating, by the way. Some days I just wish my job would be to play Beethoven music next to someone this policing in the eye, respectfully. So I'll simply just be going over her design today. Since let's be real, most of us like her because of her looks. And just as I mentioned where I'm appreciating the attention to small details, this character falls under that category of details that will be discussed in a moment. But to start off, rejoice! Shorekeeper was the first character in the game that doesn't have the black and white color palette that is in Coverina. This character's color palette is simply smurf coated with a hint of mid-Bobaloo, slight yellows inside of her plasma-like butterfly, the purple on her eyes, and the only black color being her black shore flower. This doesn't contradict my color palette statement. It actually surprises me how well this color palette works despite the colors ignore pretty much every fundamental color combination. My simple brain cannot comprehend such intricacy. Looking a little bit closer, notice these two details on her chest. My favorite one being the blue crystal in the shape of a tacit mark, considering it's not a tacit mark, but if it is, this is my favorite feature from this character. Second detail is one that might be a little bit difficult to notice. For the fellow viewers who can't see what I'm talking about, is the translucent accents throughout her outfit, which refers to the extra accessories on a uniform. And that's everything there is to discuss about this character. I wish I was joking. The problem with this character is that she's basically exposing her heavenly given talent. Because of this, there's not much to discuss about her that isn't her, you get it by now. Her back, on the other hand, holds those juicy details. Well, mostly one detail, but it's portrayed quite a bit. What is thy detail, you might ask? It's the butterfly. Nothing extraordinary, but the way Kuro Games use the butterfly design is very clever if I do say so myself. From the outline of the white frills, the literal butterfly on top of her veil, the smaller white butterflies located on her wrist and dress, heck, even the blue stripes resemble butterfly wingtails. Something that caught my attention is the tip of the stripes and the way they're shaped. It got me curious to know what type of butterfly Shorekeeper imitates. And the closest match based on the color and anatomy was a papilio, or a swallowtail butterfly. Listen, I tend to make freaky comments, but that second name is real. Moving on to something more reasonable on this character. Her shoes are your average... What the fuck? What are these? Closest thing I can think of are heelless shoes? We're just casually defying gravity with these, huh? But I did mention how Wuthering Waves made me notice and appreciate the smaller details on many characters. That's great, since the majority of the roster, be it their weapon selection animation or their idle animations, Kuro ever so happens to go a step further and make Shorekeeper the only character in the game with a different hand pose on their idle stance. Check out that Renaissance spirit in her. Again, chick basically got no clothing, but looking past that, the elegance that radiates from what's on her outfit easily secures Shorekeeper as one of the most elegant characters by far. Now for the last character for today, I'm gonna be honest, it was a difficult choice to make. By the time this video releases, you probably have a Thessalian jellyfish lady with a tacit mark that makes up her 6th or 8th sense. Unfortunately, she's not the character for today. I've yet to finish studying her impact in the game.
I thought this was poor!
Someone I can consider myself to be a certified bootlicker is the mentally unstable psychopath. I am also mentally unstable to talk about her as of now. But the selected character, I don't think any gacha game character has made me so happy, got me so invested into their game, spent so much time learning about them, and questioned my interest in previous characters like this one. This character has changed my life and made me want to improve my sinful ways and seek the golden truth. It's Carlotta. I'm not stretching this any longer. I like Carlotta too much. You'll never guess why I like this character so much. My simple brain during 2.0 story was just seeking attentively for this 29th fictional character with white long hair who's codenamed after a shiny rock. The rover went to Renacita for some reason I'm too lazy to think of. I went to Renacita to see one of the most important, prettiest characters in Renacita, and the most violently threatening one because she can shoot more than one gun. While Carlotta may have had her moments of doubt during her story quest, deep down, this character knows she's a sassy girl, and she's aware that we know she's a sassy girl. It's just that Kuro hasn't given her the chance to break the fourth wall yet. At first, I couldn't understand how it was possible for her personality to work as well as it does, but then it hit me. Ever since 1.3, Kuro has been incorporating more colors into their character designs, but also the dominating color definitions / emotional traits. For example, Opal over here has black on her gloves and boots, white dress, and teal on the inside of her magenta coat. Decent color variation, yet magenta is the dominating color, which its definition is relative to kindness, energy, and more. Too much talk about coloring in the lines. Let me embrace her outfit. The blend with her flowing, striking coat with the short white dress with cute frills and the long thigh boots present this impression of cutesy vibes, elegance, and refinement all at the same time. And the bow on top of it all, see what I did? Some of you will probably know what I'll cover right now. I can't escape white hairs, dog. They're my addiction. Long white hair like this make me weak. I'm gonna just say it. No joke or explanation here. Reject horniness and fetishes. Embrace more cute white hair girls, please. Carlotta's hair is also sort of unique. This chick can choose whether to have white hair or change the molecules to have diamond hair with blue tips. This is officially the best character ever, and Kuro probably knows this very well, cause what are they insinuating? Now, two more things I would like to point out about the new animations in the game. While some characters may have similar animations, Carlotta makes them look better. Like, what do you want me to say? I like Carlotta. I think I forgot to specify that. Rather than having the backflip dodge most of the cast has, Opal here wants to be different and does a cute little twirl instead, showing that safety is indeed first, fellas. And lastly, Carlotta has introduced a new walking animation, making her have the current swaggiest walk. This walk perfectly carries her whole personality. If any other character has this exact same walk cycle, let me remind you that it's not a default walk, they're just copying perfection. Overall, this might be my all-time favorite character in Wuthering Waves due to the simplistic choice of just having a good-looking and well-written character. Literally try and name any character that's better than the Montalie herself. Oh yeah, her mirror self. Nothing beats the mirror self. End of discussion.